Hi everybody and welcome to the video. Today I thought I would do something a little bit different from what I usually do, and that is look at some of the trailers that Rift has put out, Tryon, Rift, whoever you want to say, and give a little bit of my commentary as someone who's been playing, well, maybe not from the beginning, I started during Storm Legion, but as somebody who has been playing for quite a bit of time and give some insights into what I do know about like what happens during those events and stuff like that. So let's look at the first trailer that Rift ever put out. It's basically the oldest. So I sorted by oldest. This is the first thing that they ever released on their channel. So let's look at it. And yeah, so let's start here. Ooh, underwater. Okay, let's pause here. This was basically the first image that I showed. This is Port Zion. And so you can see that it was an actual port with, boats and everything and quays, or what do you call them in English? Quays? Decks, whatever. So, places where the boats could moor and stuff like that. This is not in game anymore. Or was it ever? I don't know. It looks like it was, this was footage probably from the game before it was released or even beta'd. So basically, this is kind of an image of what we could have seen in game if they had gone through with this. From what I know, Port Zion was supposed to be, at the beginning, it was supposed to be released as a place where players could actually uh, go into. They could quest in there, and I think what would have been interesting is if there hadn't been the faction wars or anything like that, like no Guardians, no Defiant wars or anything like that. If if there had been a war between the factions like there is now, this would have been maybe a neutral home city. Not home, but a neutral city where players could go, basically Sanctum is all the way to the right here, and Meridian is all the way to the left here, and this would have been like a hub where players could have gone and been allied for a second. So it would have been very interesting, and I hope that one day maybe they'll release something that includes Port Zion. I mean, they already did with Nightmare Tide. In Nightmare Tide, there was a zone in where was it? Not Gaboro. Shit, what was it called? There was a zone in Nightmare Tide where there were a lot of the vestiges, like basically echoes of places that we've played through or haven't in this case. Port Zion was included in Nightmare Tide as like a dream. And I don't think we saw this port area part though. I don't think this was included in that Nightmare Tide re rehash, if you want to say it. But definitely we had the Port Zion imagery that players were very familiar with. Like this is basically one of the first images that you, as a Defiant, I mean, you start all the way, not all the way, but you start like on the left here. This is where you come in to the past. Because the truth is, in this game, in Rift, you're playing in the past. You were sent back in the past to change the future. Woo! A lot of time travel, mumbo jumbo things. Anyways, so let's go through this video. Let's go through with this.
Talara has always been threatened by forces beyond the war.
Silverwood.
But for eons, the land was peaceful. The creatures of the other planes always seemed distant. Stories to scare children.
Huzzah! Goblins. Nice.
Until the rifts came. Now, no place is safe. The rifts grow more numerous by the day. We never know when or where the next one will open, unleashing death and destruction on all those
That was
who witness
Stonefield.
it. But all is not lost. There are rumors the champions have returned from beyond death.
The Ascended!
Perhaps they can save us.
Nice. You know what? This is probably one of the best trailers that they ever did. It's very reminiscent of like I don't want to say it, but like they're very reminiscent of like WoW's trailers where there's, you know, gameplay, but there's also like the story, the lore, and it's like different like the camera moves more swiftly than it does in game, for example. I like it. I had honestly though, I had never seen this trailer, and I'm so glad I did now because it's like, damn, it's this is hype-ish, you know? This creates so much hype for a game that promises so much, and they did it first, you know? They really did promise and deliver. Right. So this was not part of this list that this list of updates that the Tryon team has created. But anyways, so now we are going to the updates. So the expansions and also the patches. So this is the first update, River of Souls, update 1.1.
You are weak.
You know what? I just got like a little echo of "You are not prepared." I just got a feeling of that. Oh God, sorry.
Weak minds crave domination.
This is Alsbeth, by the way.
Weak flesh yearns to obey. Your gods and machines will
Okay, that over there, the skybox, that is the River of Souls, by the way. Just so you know.
fail you.
Yeah, so this is the River of Souls.
I will tear your souls away.
And this is Meridian,
and
I think.
feed the almighty devourer. Embrace eternal life through undeath, or be consumed in the void. I am Alsbeth, Queen of the Endless Court. All will fall. All will serve.
Yeah, so this is an interesting, like the graphics are kind of interesting. I think honestly, I think that this update heralded the beginning of the saga of the Endless that I did previously in a previous videos. Um, so I think that River of Souls was like the beginning of the focus on the Alsbeth storyline and Regulus as well. So the cult of the damned and stuff like that. And yeah, so the River of Souls was a very interesting raid. It's all about death. It's all about trying to revive powerful soldiers or powerful figures of history so that they can serve Regulus. Alsbeth's plan was to create an army for Regulus. So this was what River of Souls was about. Basically, the River of Souls is the place where all the souls gather when you die, and so she can pluck different souls and try to with some machinery or something like that. So she can try to pluck the souls and use them to to create a new powerful soldiers for the army of Regulos. So that was a very cool raid too. There were interesting mechanics. Like, to be honest, Rift at the beginning was very like, up until maybe uh I'd say maybe end of Nightmare Tide, like mid Nightmare Tide. Um they were very good at creating raids and content, dungeons and content, and like, even the questing is interesting. I would say, sure, it's kind of a stale questing experience compared to, say, Guild Wars, because Guild Wars is all about it's all about no questing. It's more about just exploring and doing like zone content. It's more about zone content than questing itself. And WoW, I mean, the new in the past, WoW was very much like Rift is now. So I guess that's why, the WoW players are familiar enough with the Rift playstyle. So that's not difficult for people to go to from WoW to Rift. But I think, and that's criticism from my part. Like, I'm very honest when it comes to Rift, and it's one of my favorite games. But I'm very critical of it too, because I do think that it could be better. So my criticism is that, yes, the questing in Rift is pretty stale and it's grindy. It's becoming a lot grindier as the years go by. Um, it wasn't that grindy at first. The thing is, Rift was a subscription based game at the beginning. So they were catering to people who were already paying. Like, there wasn't much of a shop. There wasn't much grinding. Like, when you raided, you got tons of pieces. You didn't have to grind the raids over and over and over to finally get a piece. There were a hell of a lot more pieces that you could loot from one boss, for example, in one raid than now there is. Like, now, if I do Tartaric Depths, for example, I am definitely not getting a piece very easily. I'm definitely just gonna get a fragment, and maybe I'll get a piece of loot. But back in the day, like up until maybe Hammerknell, um, you you got pieces pretty easily. I mean, there were like maybe maybe 4 pieces of loot per boss, and so they were definitely catering to a crowd that could be pleased. And now, I mean, they're trying to create. It's funny. I think they're trying to create an interest by making the game grindy. So people are going to say like, "Oh, I really, really, really want this piece, so I'm gonna grind it forever and ever." Well, I think that's not the way to go. But anyways, so I'm just blabbling. Um, Waves of Madness. Okay, this, quite honestly, I think is my favorite Rift trailer ever. It's so hype-ish. It's got a great mix of music and a great mix of the guy who's talking, the narrator, who's the narrator? I think it's shit. I think it's one of the Abyssal. Anyways, so it's great. It's got a great mix of like great vocals for the guy who's talking, and great music and great visuals as well. So check it out. Alcohol reference. I don't see it. Whatever. Yes. Crafting, grinding for materials. So this is the introduction of Hammerknall, which, in my fucking opinion, is the best raid ever. Just saying.
Arise, my servants. The wards of Hammerknell are shattered. I release release you, Achilleos! Come forth and claim this world!
I mean, fuck yeah. I fucking love this video. I love this trailer because it's so cinematic as opposed to nowadays their trailers that they do, they just basically show like, okay, this is the new gear that you'll get. This is the dungeons that we do, and this is the new mount that we have, and oh, by the way, you can do dimensions. It's that's basically what they do now. It's very short. Like their videos nowadays for updates or even trailers for expansions, they're just like 30 seconds. And I hate it because this, I mean, this video that you just saw is something that they used to do. And now they're just like haphazard how do you call it, haphazardly, yeah, they're just haphazardly creating something just so like, oh, just get it out, you know, we've got the expansion and you've got this game and this is it. And I fucking hate it because they used to create cinematics that were fucking amazing and it created so much hype, and now it's just blah. Like ever since after Storm Legion, they don't give a crap about their videos, about their updates. I hate it because they used to do something very amazing. I mean, yeah, it's footage from in game, okay, but it's well delivered, and the fuck, man, the guy talking and the music, I'm sorry, but that music and that guy talking, they created so much hype for me when I saw it. And I mean, I saw this video after the fucking after vanilla. After Vanilla Rift, I saw this video like maybe last year or 2 years ago, I think. Saw this video and I was like, "What the fuck? This is so good." Yeah. So I'm just gonna go back to the video. So yeah, of course you're mining because, you know, between updates you're like, okay, so there's nothing to do. Let's go and craft and let's go mining, let's go harvesting, let's go whatever. You know, just get some mats to get ready for Hammerknell, right? So that's what you're doing. And it's showing Hammerknell in the background here. And Water Rift because, whoops, sorry, Water Rift because Hammerknell is a water-based raid. You had to get water resistance. So that's another thing. Back in vanilla days, whenever a new raid came out, you had to get resistance, planar resistance for that plane. So let's say, for example, River of Souls, you needed to get death resistance. So all your gear, your essences, your weapon too, I think, maybe. You needed to get death resistance for a River of Souls. For Hammerknell, you needed to get water resistance because Hammerknell was like a abyssal catastrophe, because Achilleos is the end boss, and Achilleos is the water. Wow, the dragon from the plane of water, and Achilleos is a motherfucker, man. You saw him at the end there. But anyway, so we'll go through. So it's showing you, okay, so Water Rift just came out. Fuck that music, man. I love it. Okay, so showing you a fucking crab. Oh, what is this? What is this? Oh, what is this video about? Waves of Madness? Ooh. And of course, Achilleos is the Dragon of Madness. So, yeah.
Arise, my son.
Arise!
The wards of Hammerknell are shattered.
Fuck
I
yeah.
release you, Achilles!
So the guy talking is a guy from the Cult of the Abyssals, right? And the Cult of the Abyssals is basically determined to free Achilles, right? And so all of these, like this crab and these guys, they're all water creatures. And so the Abyssal cult got so powerful that they started releasing things from the water and sending it over the land to wreak havoc.
Come forth and claim!
Oh, and this is Moonshade Highlands, by the way. So this is the guy talking. He's the one. I think I forget his name, but he's like the leader of the Abyssals.
This world!
And by the way, also, you'll have seen from from my earlier videos where I was doing the Abyssal Saga. So the Faceless Man was an Abyssal, and so I think that the Abyssal Saga was released around the time of the Waves of Madness, or prior to the Waves of Madness update. So to create the hype, and to also give loot to get ready for Hammernell and stuff like that. This is you. This is you, and this is probably I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure that it's one of the new mounts that they were releasing for this update, which is weird because I would have thought like, okay, so it's a water update. Why they're gonna release a water fucking horse or whatever? But no, they're releasing a fire horse. God knows why. And this is cool because it's showing like I'm pretty sure it's like devs playing or whatever, but it's so cool that they're showing like, gameplay. Like people actually doing the stuff that they're, showing, that they're talking about. Like, oh hey, there's a lot of water creatures, must fight them, but they're not showing them. Well, they are. So they're showing players or devs killing the creatures and trying to drive them back, force them out and stuff like that. This is Hammernell in the background here. So your character, well, the character that you're seeing here is heading towards Hammernell. And yeah, best raid ever. Just saying. This is Merdantix. Hello. How do you do? I'm pretty sure that the footage that you're about to see, like, I'm not sure it's in-game material. Like, maybe it's a quest. I've never seen Merdantix outside of Hammernell. I don't know. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's not real material from the game, but if it is, I've never done that quest. Ooh, opening the doors of Hammernell. Oh my god. I love that in a lot of their videos, Tryon shows people like changing this line that you see here. That's basically somebody changing specs. So I love that they always do this in their videos, like the ability of being able to change change the way that you're gonna play. So maybe he's going to be a healer. He was DPSing outside. He was like doing a water rift or whatever, and now he's getting ready to heal his tank or whatever. So I love that they show people changing specs all the time in their videos because it really shows the versatility of the game. And I think they're very dedicated to showing that in all of their videos, or most of them anyways. Like I always see this in their updates. It's great. So this piggy there should not be there if there's a tank in the raid. Like, you're raiding. This is not a good tank for a raid. Ow, Matron Zamira! She's a bitch, and I love it. I love Hammernell. I love all the bosses in here. They're so well thought. All the mechanics are awesome. I mean, there's basically no negative to Hammernell, in my opinion. And they even released a Warfront. What do you call it? Not Warfront. Yeah, Warfront. They even released a Warfront that's basically in this room, which is Basically showing you that this fucking raid is awesome. This boss is, what's it called? The fire thing. Kills everybody all the time. Anyways, this is a great boss too. I love Hammernell! This bitch purges people. I hate it. No, well, it's great because the thing is, it's funny. So when the level 50 raid, so this raid, right? So this update's raid was released. Well, I didn't do it when it was released, but I did finally finish the achievement for this girl. Basically, she takes one of your souls randomly. So she'll take. So there used to be like 20 people in the raid, right? So she would pick randomly one or three at a time, I think. So she would pick 3 souls randomly from the raid. Every however many seconds, I don't know, maybe 30 seconds, she would pick 3 souls and basically become those souls. And she would have the abilities from those souls. So let's say she was a Void Knight and a Ranger and I don't know, like a Justicar, right? So she would be very tanky and it would be very hard and she would be able to I don't know, Ranger, what do they do? You know, she would have like the abilities from all of those souls, and you know, as a Void Knight, she'd be able to purge somebody or something like that. You know, just she was a very tough one, and I finally got the achievement for this bitch. Excuse my word. I got the achievement for this girl, just before it became legacy, just before they retired this raid and made it 60. 65, sorry. 60? Shit. 65, right? Yes, 65. Because she was, Hammernell was reintroduced as a level 65 raid, and then they basically just trashed the level 50 raid and made it unavailable for all eternity. Which fucking sucks, because people loved running the level 50 raid, just, you know, for farming purposes or stuff like that. Like, people loved getting the achievements from Hammernell and loved running it just randomly, just to make some plat or to get materials or to get wardrobes or stuff like that. And then they retired it and made it legacy, and I got the achievement just before it became obsolete. So it's like, fuck you, man. People love this raid. Why did you retire the level 51? I don't know. Why did you retire the level 50 version? God knows. They say it's because, oh, we wouldn't be able to have the 2 raids in the same you know, the 2 entrances in the same location or whatever. It's like, dude, just create a different location for the entrance. That's what she did for, like, you know, Bindings of Blood. All the Bindings of Blood raids, they have different entrances from the old versions of their raids. Like, what the fuck? I'm sorry. I just hate it so much. I loved this Hammernell raid, and I hated this bitch. This is Achilleos, the dragon of water. He will eat you. I love this boss. He's awesome. Alright, let's go to the next one. Legacy of the Fallen. What is this? I have no idea. Blah, blah, blah. Whitefall Steps. Oh, so it's for... Okay, so it's for Warfronts. Okay, so introducing a new Warfront. Blah, blah, blah. Whitefall Steps and... something. Open world PvP rifts, which are not even used anymore. Fuck you, Rift. Let's go gank them. Let's go gank them. Okay, what's really interesting about PvP rifts is that, okay, so let's say a Guardian guild would open up this rift, and so what they have to do is they have to go and gather resources around the rift and bring it back to the rift and blah de blah. Or no, sorry, there's resources in the rift and they have to bring it to some bases or whatever. I think that's what it is. So basically, it's a Guardian guild and they have to stick together because, you don't want to be ganked and stuff like that. But the thing is that Defiance around the area can be like, fuck you guys, we're gonna screw you. So they could gank this guild or this group or whatever, and just say like, hey, screw you, we're gonna get the resources to our bases. So that was always fun. I did that once. When it was obsolete content, obviously, but then I got ganked by some like fucking level 60. I think I was 50, and it was part of a quest in Fortune's Shore in Shimmer Sands, right? So I was like, okay, so it's very innocently. There's probably nobody around me because level 50 was not the end game content. So I was like, nobody's gonna be here. And so I open up the rift and I'm like, okay, let's go and get the resources and stuff like that and gather them to my base and stuff like that. And then I get ganked by this level 60 guy. Yeah, that was not fun. Good times, good times. Yeah. Yeah, Whitefall Steppes is a very interesting warfront because a lot of people just go in mid. Sorry, a lot of people just go in mid. This is mid, right? Just go in mid, and they're like, oh, fuck the objectives. Let's just kill people. So that's what they do. I haven't PvP'd in a while, but I did always enjoy this warfront because it's basically like, oh hey, let's go and get if you're a rogue, it's awesome because you can go and stealth into the opposite team's base and steal their resource. That's always cool. Ashes of History. So that wasn't really an update. It was more or it wasn't really much of a uh expansion or whatever content. It's just a patch for like, yay, we have PvP map. This is Ashes of History. And this is Iron Pine Peaks. Fire dudes. Fun.
Guardian of the Vigil. Time and time again, you have proven to be among the greatest of the Vigil's chosen.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
The gods smile on you.
Oh,
and
yeah,
have sent me with this news that from this day forward,
that's the attunement.
You will be brought further into their light.
The ceremony of attunement.
You will be able to draw on a power as essential as the planes themselves.
Wings!
Use this power to defend Telara and to blaze a path of righteousness in the name of the Vigil.
Oh no!
We must rally and hold back these invaders! Once again, we find ourselves in your debt. So often, where there might have been ruin, you have instead brought us victory.
Greenscale! Oh, Chronicle. Okay, this is a Chronicle.
You have never failed to answer the call of the gods. Will you answer again today?
Yeah. All right, so the beginning sorry, not this, but this part. This is basically the ceremony of attunement. It's a chronicle. You kind of have to do at level 50, but then it's a repeatable quest, which basically means it's a chronicle that you can do over and over every day and get tokens of currency and stuff like that. So this is the Guardian side of it. The Meridian side, you get I think the first guy is different, and but the second, like the spider thing. Sorry, what is it? So yeah, this is different, I think, if I remember correctly. And then the second boss. So this is the first boss, right? All right. This guy is the first boss that you get in the chronicle, and then where's the second? So this is the second boss. You do get it in the Meridian part in the Defiant version of the chronicle. And then what was I gonna say? So yeah, these are chronicles. This is the Greenscale Chronicle, and then you have the Hammerknall Chronicle as well that you see here. All right, this part. So this is chronicles are basically you can solo. The Ceremony of Attunement is a solo chronicle, but then the Hammerknall and the Greenscale chronicles can be duoed, so they can be done in a team of two. And yeah, that's cool. And then yeah, so solo and duo dungeons, and then the Library of the Room Masters, the New War Front. So like I said, that is a room in Hammerknall. So they used it as a Warfront map. And then yeah, so the attunement. So basically, the Ceremony of Attunement was your introduction to your character. Was the introduction of the planar attunement stuff, which is the key. Key is the U key. So whenever you get to level 50, if you've never had a character, you have to start putting points into these little gems, I guess you could call them, and they give you extra stats. So that was very cool. What is this? Zone events. Oh, new event rewards. Yay. I don't know what the events are that the rewards are that they're talking about. Whatever. From the Embers. Ooh, Ember Isle. Oops. Oh no, that's not what I meant to do. Sorry. This is what I meant to do. I meant to do this. All right. Alcohol reference. I don't see it. There's no alcohol in these videos, but they're probably talking about the game itself. Ew.
Ember
Mount
Isles is our
Carcera.
home. Within its jungles, we built cities that harnessed an ancient power. Spirits born of Talara itself. They were our great.
Can we just say, what? She's so pretty. Sort of. So yeah, the Ember Isle is the island of the Kalari. So this is a Kalari, this is a Kalari person.
Great allies and our friends.
And this is a friendly spirit.
Until the Bloodstorm came.
Okay, so the Bloodstorm. I've talked about this pretty often, but the Bloodstorm is basically all of the dragons. So the dragon of fire, the dragon of water, like Achilleos, dragon of fire is Melforge, and then you have Crucia, the dragon of air. You have Regulus, the dragon of death, and you have what's the other one? Dragon of earth, Lathus. I think that's it, right? I think so. Anyway, so you have those dragons are called the Bloodstorm. They are they started attacking Talara for some reason, to get resources, maybe to get to the heart of the planet. Who knows? yeah, so that's the Bloodstorm. And then yeah, at some point, some of the inhabitants of Telara, some of the more powerful inhabitants of Telara, imprisoned those dragons, and that's why you have uh, the uh, the Greenscale raid where you free Greenscale for some reason, and then you kill him. And then you have all the raids where you kill the dragons. You have slivers. Slivers are basically like reliving history. The Bindings of Blood are basically the are basically raids where you see how those dragons were bound, were incarcerated.
Our spirits changed.
I love that spirit.
We
He's so cute.
changed. So much loss, so much death. Yet there is hope. With your help, we will return to our isle. Free our spirits.
What? I'm sorry. Oh yeah. Okay. So Meridian, because we are in Meridian right now. Meridian used to be an abyssal library, so that's why you see this faceless person there. Holy shit! I was like, is that the faceless man? Why is he in Meridian? And then I remembered, I learned recently from doing the abyssal quest line, the abyssal saga. I learned recently that Meridian used to be an abyssal library. The things you learn, man.
Free our spirits. And reclaim.
Oh, this chick is Anthusa. Anthusa was like a priestess in Ember Isle, and then she fled and came to Meridian. And so here she is. She's probably gonna like counsel this girl, this Kalari girl, on how to do things in Ember Isle.
Claim our home. Onward ascended. To Ember Isle.
Raptor! Raptor! Nice. So you see what I'm talking about? Like their old trailers were fucking awesome. And yeah. Ember Isle was a endgame map, and it was very not overpowered, but it was it was a very difficult map for level 50. So people who were not in raid gear had difficulty in Ember Isle. At least that's what I've been told. Okay, I mean, I didn't play when it was current content, but from what I've heard, some of my old guildies would say, like, you know, if you didn't have raid gear, you would get owned in Ember Isle. And yeah, it was oh my god, I love Ember Isle. It's so beautiful. I mean, you can see from the video, you could see that it was like very jungly, very foliagey, and very pretty. Oh my god, the spirit guy. I love it. And this chick, man. I think she's a main character in the storyline in Ember Isle. I just don't remember her actually. I mean, I barely quested in Ember Isle. Not enough anyways. Instant adventure. We're gonna skip that because that's not even it's not a real good I mean, we could do it. Let's see it. Let's see it. Instant adventure! Let's see what it looks like. I don't think I've seen it. Kalari dude. What's up?
So the inspiration for Instant Adventure was really just getting in and being able to play a game immediately.
And there's no wait time, there's no talking to NPCs to get this quest. You're on it, you're moving, you're killing, you're moving on to the next thing.
We want to make these bite-sized chunks of content for players to get in and get a decent challenge and a decent reward.
you don't have to mess around with getting just the right group mix in order to participate in these. You can drop in, drop out, participate, stop, whenever you want, and the people that remain can still complete their objectives.
I really want to be able to just hop in, get in a big group of other people, and do some fun stuff with them and feel the camaraderie of an MMO again.
Players are in for some good surprises.
It's like nothing you've ever seen in an MMO before.
That's true.
It's non-stop excitement.
What I'm going to say is that no, it was never seen before, but now we kind of have it in Guild Wars 2. It's just, it's not the same in Guild Wars 2 because it's not as like what can I say? It's like I leveled up in Guild Wars 2 without ever grouping up really. And that was sad to me because I was like, well, why don't I get the option of grouping up with people in my area? And that's the thing that I was missing from Rift is like, you have the option of grouping up with people randomly if you need help. You always have like a little pop-up at the top of your screen saying like, oh, hey, there's somebody in your area. Would you like to join their group? And you can say yes or you can say no. I mean, I missed that when I was playing Guild Wars 2, and it's something that is very is very unique to Rift, in that it's you always have the option of grouping up with people. And Instant Adventure is one of those instances where you always have the option. If you don't want to raid, if you want to be very casual, but you want to see some of the end game content, you always have the option of doing in the now you have the Intrepid Adventures, which take you into Hammerknell and Mind of Madness. So you always have the option of like doing some of the current content. Well, back then, I mean, back when the Hammerknell and Mind of Madness raids were not raids, Instant Adventures were introduced. It was like the current raid content, so that was cool. Now, I mean, I wish they did that still. I wish they had introduced like more of the old raids or even the newer raids and turned them into instant adventures, but they haven't yet. I don't know if they will. I don't know if it's in the plans. God knows. But yeah, instant adventures, as they said, I mean, you don't have a quest to pick up. You can always group up with people. You're never doing anything alone. It's always cool. And that's something that I really do love about Rift, is the option of instant adventures for quick, very very awesome content, because you're never idle. All right, next, Infernal Dawn with Lathis. Woo. Yeah, that's what you do before raid time. You go fishing.
Korsura, spirit of the mountain, have had my slumber disturbed.
Disturbed!
Forge and Lathis nears its zenith.
Mailforge.
You must move quickly, Ascendant. Soon they'll rise.
Okay, can I just say, like, they do that all the time nowadays, where they show like the new gear. Okay, so I think this was probably the first video where they introduced like, okay, here is a new gear that you get. So this was probably the warrior gear that you would get, the weapons and stuff like that. I think this is cleric actually. And what's this? This is definitely a warrior piece, as far as I know. Ranger or some kind of rogue piece, whatever. Yeah. Oh, I thought this was a Storm Legion color. Whatever. Anyways, so yeah, nowadays they do this all the time, where they show off the new gear from the raid they're talking about in the videos.
Soon they'll rise.
Sorry.
Set the world to flame. Show these beasts.
Okay, Okay, let's go back there. I never understood this this boss, okay? Or this, why is there a fucking ship in Mount Carcera? I never understood this part of the lore. Why is there a ship in the fucking lava? Explain this to me. Lore people, explain this to me. Why is there a fucking pirate queen in Mount Carcera? And why is she related to Melforge? And, like, what the fuck? I'm sorry, but I never understood that part. That's Lathis. That's Melforge. This was a very interesting raid because there were like 2 wings, and one wing was for Lathis, so like earth stuff, and one wing was for Melforge, fire shit. And this was like, I think, the biggest raid. Well, either that or Hammerknell. Infernal Dawn and Hammerknell. Okay, so I waxed poetic about Hammerknell earlier, but I'm going to wax poetic about Infernal Dawn too. And I hope, I wish, I really want the devs to create an instant adventure for Infernal Dawn, because it is, like, hands down one of, I'm not going to say the because I already talked about Hammerknell, but it is one of the best raids that the Rift developers ever created. And I miss content like that. I never did it current content, but man, it was fucking amazing. When I went back and did it with some of my guildies, I mean, even at level 60, that raid can own you. Even at level 70, I'm sure that this raid can still own you, especially the first boss. Because the first boss, you need 2 tanks. And if you don't have 2 tanks, you're probably gonna get owned. Boom. This was a very interesting fight, this one. Oh, okay, so this is where they show you the gear. So this is, they always do warrior first. They always do the warrior front and center. And then, what is this? This is probably cleric because of the horns for some reason. This is mage, and this is definitely rogue then. So yeah, this is probably the first video where they introduced the gear as like, hey, this is the kind of gear that you're gonna get in this raid. And I would love to go back into Infernal Dawn and get all the pieces, because this is fucking amazing gear. I'm sorry, but this is like, what the fuck? I love it. I want it. Like that headpiece is amazing. Yeah, one day I'm gonna go back. I love this. I love where it shows you like the dragon and the little guy here. That's so cute. Okay, so yes, Infernal Dawn and Hammerknell, best raids ever. I'm gonna say that because it's the truth. Well, yeah, definitely. Okay, next. Oh, we have an update about Conquest, which doesn't exist anymore. They took it out. But I'm gonna show you how good it was, because, yeah. Try on.
Got some really exciting stuff coming up on the PvP front in Rift.
We're going to give players what they've been asking for a long time in the form of Conquest.
Cute.
With Conquest, we're really trying to capture some of the essence of open world PvP gameplay.
Large-scale conflicts with lots of people in a large area with multiple objectives.
We're moving away from a 2-faction system, Defiance and Guardians, and moving to a 3-faction system.
The 3 factions are not Guardians versus Defiant. They are other factions of Ascended from across the planes, from across the universes, that are here to duke it out for dominance.
You can align yourself to one of the 3 factions, and everyone has the opportunity to affect.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this, but no one ever stood around in Conquest. You get to mid and you're like, gotta own this place. You never just stand around. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say that.
Outcome of a Conquest battle. players can go out and gather resources and build stuff, and also
No one ever
take
does.
over specific areas to get additional buffs for their side.
At certain points, you'll start gaining access to unique abilities that might help, not only in PvP, but PvE as well in the open world.
People that are
Yes, okay, so he talked about it. So back in the day, during Storm Legion, they took it out afterwards, I think. Like at the tail end of Storm Legion, they took out this PvE factor. Basically, what they're talking about, the getting boosts and whatever for PvE, once you got to a certain level of conquest points or whatever, you would get a buff for raiding. So basically it was recommended, and basically I think it affected your damage output, so you would deal more damage in raids or open world content or whatever. So it was a very controversial buff, this PvE buff, because it came from PvP, and a lot of players were like, they hated that buff because they said, oh shit, you know, I have to do PvP to do PvE, what the fuck. I was kind of one of those people, but then I started doing Conquest and I was like, yeah, you know, it's enjoyable kind of, and I didn't mind it so much at the end. And then what's funny is that I finally got that buff, because the thing is you have to do a certain amount of Conquest and wins or kills. I can't remember what it was, but basically you would like accumulate points and then get to a certain level where you would get that buff. And I finally got that buff right before they took it out of the game. not Conquest, but that buff. Because people were complaining so much on the forums and stuff that the developers took that buff out of the game. And now Conquest is out of the game too. All good things must come to an end, I guess. But I'm very much against that Conquest being taken out. I mean, it was cool. Yes, it was uber laggy. Oh my god, you have no idea. I mean, when there's like actually it's like 6 raids sometimes, like each team, because there was Dominion, Oathsworn, and what was the Raven? Dominion, Oathsworn, and something else. So the three teams would basically have a whole, like maybe 5 or 6 raids for each team. So imagine having like thousands of people in the same area. It lagged, okay? It lagged so much, and some people DC'd and stuff like that, but it was still fun. I mean, everybody loved Conquest. Am I right? Am I right?
are looking for the feeling of open world PvP. That's what we're really trying to deliver with Conquest.
Dueling is fun, Warfronts are fun, but Conquest, this is where realities collide.
Yep. Let's see what people are talking about here. Why is Barack Obama on YouTube? What? 4 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Nobody's talking about this anymore? Yeah. Sort by newest first. 4 years ago. Oh, that sucks. I was like hoping that people would say like, why'd you take out Conquest? Ay, ay. 1.9 Conquest! Yeah, you already did that. Storm Legion Dimensions, welcome home. Nah. Okay, Storm Legion launch. Okay, so I started playing not at the beginning of Storm Legion. I started playing like maybe a third into Storm Legion. So Frozen Tempest and Endless Eclipse were already out. TDQ as well, obviously. So Triumph of the Dragon Queen was already out. I think Grim Awakening had just come out, if I remember correctly. Storm Legion! Where it started to go downhill.
I am Queen Maela of Bravain. I bring a dire warning.
She looks so sad.
She reaches out beyond the walls of her prison.
Oh yeah, so Crucia, this is Crucia. Beautiful, beautiful dragon, right? We keep seeing her all the time nowadays. because she keeps getting rehashed. Anywho, so Krusha was incarcerated. Remember when I was talking about the Bloodstorm earlier? So when she was bound, the bindings of blood, right? So when she was bound under the lake of Iron Pine Peak. What's it called? Like right near Chancel of Labors. Okay, so that's where she's coming out from. She's coming out from her prison in Iron Pine Peak.
By me, Ascended. You follow the commands of lesser creatures. When I offer you such power.
Oh, that's the Infinity Gate. Hello.
These Storm Legion crows come to harry and harass. We will hold what is ours.
Okay, so again, they're showing off the new gear that you'll get. I mean, I don't hate it, but I like a lot of people just think it's futuristic, which I agree. It's very futuristic. And that's what Crucial's all about. She's all about futuristic stuff because she's like the Dragon of Storm and she uses storm magic and she's very metally and stuff like that. That's her. Oh, that's the new soul. That's the what's it called? The Archon? Tempest? One thing I will say, why the fuck are you using Storm Torrent on one mob? Use Lightning Torrent. Noob. This is the entrance to Frozen Tempest. So they're introducing the Frozen Tempest raid here. These guys killed pug groups, okay? Because there were 2 weeklies that you could that alternated, and one of them was these 2 guys were one of the weeklies. The other one was the spider boss in Endless Eclipse. But these 2 guys killed pug groups because a lot of pug groups could not do them. Because they needed to be around the same percentage, both of them. And if one of them was like way too low, like 10% lower, then, it just fucking killed the raid. And yeah, a lot of people just couldn't do this. These guys' mechanics. Oh my god. Krusha! Okay, let me go back. Where was it? Was it this girl? No, it's the other one. Okay, hang on. I'll try to find it. Oh god, I love this boss. Hallelujah. This is Volan. I love Volan. Holy shit, he's the best zone boss ever. Where was it? No, not here. Then it must be... Where was it? Oh, this bitch. Okay, so this... I tank healed this boss once on my alt, and it was like a dismal failure because they wanted me to solo heal it, and I fucking failed. Oh my god. Yeah. Bad memories on this boss. Anyways, sorry. That's it, right? That's it. Okay. Storm Legion. People hated I think at the beginning this version of Crucia was the loading screen on the game, and then people deemed it too sexual, so they changed it. Ha ha ha. I remember that. Storm Legion College. No, let's go for Endless Eclipse. Ooh. So as you can see, like, yes, they were still doing very cool trailers for for at least the first the launch trailer, right? So we're gonna see during Storm Legion the trailers were still very good. But you're going to see that it starts dipping after Storm Legion. You're gonna see. But we're still in Storm Legion now. Let's go.
Pathetic mortals.
That's Regulo speaking.
The god of death stands before you. Prepare yourselves for oblivion.
Okay, this is the coolest architecture ever. And the first time I did this raid, I was blown away by the art. Like, kudos, hands down, best art team ever for a Rift. Well, not ever, but they have a very good art team. I'm gonna give them that, even though there are problems, even though there are a lot of bugs. Art-wise, Rift is very, very good, even till now. I'm gonna give them that, okay? But this fucking architecture thing, this bone, like staircase? Oh my god! It gave me the chills the first time I did this raid. Wow. Spider bitch. Kane. Spider bitch. Okay, this is not in game. Okay, I don't know where. This is probably cut content. Maybe when you I don't know. This is cut. This was never in game. Regulos. Okay. Regulos has the best boss entrance ever. Let me just say, I commented on that on a recent video where what's his name? Malanan, whatever. The end boss in Tartaric Depths. When he comes out, he just fades in. Okay, so he doesn't even have an entrance. He just fades in, and I was like, "What the fuck? This boss, Malanan, is like." Has the same skeleton as Regulos, and yet they didn't give him a really cool entrance like Regulos had. In game, okay, when you approached Regulos, he would like basically crawl out like you just saw, okay? So he would just crawl out of his hole like you just saw here. Like this. Okay, so he had like a really cool entrance, and then like for subsequent bosses, they didn't give them the entrance. I was like, what the fuck? Malanan is the end boss in Tartaric Depths. Why didn't you give him a cool entrance? You just fade him in. What the fuck?
This world is mine to devour.
That mouth. Okay, so yeah, Regulos, the Endless Eclipse is a very cool raid. I never saw any bugs in this game, in this raid. So, like, the first two raids in Storm Legion were very cool, very awesome, very well made. And then like afterwards, after Storm Legion has started to go down, Carnival and the Ascended, blah. So this, Infinity, Beyond Infinity, this is two raids that they're talking about. They're talking about Planebreaker Bastion and Infinity Gate. Very cool raids too. And this is gonna be Volan speaking.
Your cities will fall.
Ah! I fucking love Volan.
Extinction awaits you.
Okay, so that's the invasions. Okay, I was like, why are they showing Amranel? Okay, invasions. I think that was the Storm Legion Assassin, the Storm Assassin wardrobes. Kalari males are just so fucking funny to me. I'm sorry. Let's just say that. They're so funny. That's Planebreaker Bastion.
You did not destroy the Hive. We are eternal. Your defeat is inevitable.
And that's Infinity Gate. That gear is so cool. I don't think I was ever able to get that gear. I think they took it out of the game. I might be wrong, though. I mean, I'll have to go and see if I can still get this piece and this helm. I think I might have the chest pieces. Maybe. I'll have to go and see. But I don't think it's available in game anymore. I do have that weapon though. Volan! Yeah. And sorry, the Realm of Twisted Dreams, where is it? Yeah. The Realm of Twisted Dreams was a pretty hard dungeon. Especially this boss guy. Wow. Because there were bugs, I think, with this dungeon. Especially this boss. Sometimes, because you needed to be standing in certain places and stuff like that, and sometimes it would bug out and think that you weren't there. Where are we now? Song of Dreams. Oh, that was the zone off of Emberal. Underwater zone. It didn't really take off this this underwater zone off of Emberal. Corgi!
I am he that sees fear. And not even you can stand against so many. Witness your nightmares made manifest.
I think he's the Dragon of Nightmares. Yeah. What about Faye?
What about Faye-Yule? What about Faye-Yule? It's almost here!
Oh my god!
Hey! No, wait, it's not here yet! But until Faye-Yule, I have new versions of your favorite dungeons every week!
Yay!
Come and spend the holidays with Rift!
Okay. Okay, next. 2.8 Madness Wakes. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. 2 Madness Wakes. There we go.
Rated T for teen.
Rated T for teen. Okay. I think this was,
So you wish to peer into the nightmares of the abyss.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
So be it.
So you go back into Shimmer Sands and see the Infinity Gate and nightmares approaching. Sinister presences. Death all around.
The black tide is surging! Welcome to the nightmare!
Achelios? So yeah, this is where you this is where you see that the level of creativity, I guess, but it's like they give it's like they make these videos as an afterthought now. So after the Beyond Infinity, you kind of start seeing that there's not much care given to the videos anymore. That's my feeling. I mean, you kind of just start seeing like, oh hey, the quality's decreasing. You'll see.
Rated T for teen.
Our plane. The plane of water.
This is a nice this is a nice trailer though.
We are now threatened by the Akvam. Fiery invaders. And the fears of mortal minds.
Iraq!
Help us, Ascended. Only you can save us all.
What they didn't say in this video is that Build Your Perfect class is that you were kind of pigeonholed ever since Storm Legion. You were kind of pigeonholed into using certain specs for certain reasons. So if you're like, let's say I was playing a warrior, right? Well, I did play a warrior during Nightmare Tide and Storm Legion and so on. If you wanted to be a DPSer, you needed to be a Tempest. If you wanted to be a tank, well, you wanted to be a Void Knight. If you wanted to be support, well, you could only be a Beastmaster, but Beastmaster wasn't good, so you didn't want to be a Beastmaster. So you were you know, if you were a certain class and you wanted to be a DPS, you were pigeonholed into certain DPS specs. So you couldn't just build a class, you know, just build your spec for yourself. You were building based on guides. So it was always a little bit like, oh, you're kind of lying there in this video, like build your perfect class. No, you're kind of building to somebody else's like detailed guide. Like, oh, I did tests and this is the best DPS class, DPS spec for this class because blah blah blah. And you were kind of pigeonholed into these specs. And to this day, it's still like that. Like they're still pigeonholing. Like if you want to be a DPS warrior, you have to be Tempest, or Warlord if you want to be melee. But you can't melee for all fights, so you better have Tempest. You know. Guile Fort. That is the worst fucking dungeon ever. I hate Guile Fortress. Fuck Guile, man. This PvP map is basically who can heal best. It's basically a healing fest, cause I mean, you have to hold the thingies for as long as possible, so basically you have overpowered healers that heal and very few DPS. That raid was so bugged. Yeah, and this is where we finally get to see like, oh hey, the rifts, you know, the things that you see on top of the rifts, the swirling things on top here, you know, the tentacles that come out of the sky. What is that? And so you finally get to see like, oh hey, it's a real living thing. Oh shit, it's coming after us. So this was a boss in the Tarkin Glacier raid. What's it called again? Fuck. I forget. Minions! That's a very cool skybox there. And the gear. So yeah, you see the gear. Hang on. Let's go. The warrior. Everything is ice, right? Ice and water. So this is the Abyssal Crusader gear, and this is the Frost Keeper gear. So that's the rogue. This is the cleric, I think, if I remember correctly. This is the warrior tank. I think this is the warrior DPS. This is, wow, beautiful eyeball there. This must be cleric, and this must be mage. Mage usually have like horns for some reason. Horns coming up like this. Clerics have like horns coming to the back. It's kind of something that you notice after a while. And that is a rogue, I think. If I'm not mistaken, that's a rogue. Oh, so pretty. Look at that little face, it's so cute. Beautiful boss. So yeah, this is that the last boss? I think so. I think that's the last boss in the Tarkin Glacier raid. So yeah, I mean, this was a very cool trailer. So now, like, you can kind of notice that, oh, hey, the updates don't get as much quality for their trailers as the actual launch trailers. Mount Sharax. Okay, so that's what the Tarkin Glacier raid is called, Mount Sharax. Right.
Rated T for teen.
Rated T for teen.
Mortals.
Mortals
On the base of Mount Sharax.
So yeah, you see the gear, right? So this is a warrior. Or is it? Is that a cleric? No, that's a warrior. No, that's not. Oh fuck, I forget. This this is a rogue for sure. You can see he has a gun, right? This is, oh sorry. This is, I think, a mage. This is, I don't know. That's definitely a warrior. I remember that horn thing. That's actually, it's more like it's like a knife that's like stuck to your helmet. It's so weird. That's a rogue for sure. That's a warrior. Oh yeah, definitely. I love those shoulders, man. I love those shoulders. That is a cleric. This is possibly yeah, that's a mage. Shit. What's the rest? This is a cleric with a fucking funny ears one. Oh wait, is that a mage? I'm not sure anymore. Anyways, yeah, memories.
We Sharax are the creations of gods. For thousands of years we sat guarding this prison.
Beautiful skybox.
Face the freezing chill of the Sharax.
I don't know why they're like not colored, those things. Like, why did they not get a color treatment? I don't get it.
And die.
Oof!
You have no.
I did like this raid. That raid was very fun, but it did have quite a few bugs. That's for sure. Jynnes Goth, okay? I don't think they showed Jynnes Goth in here, did they? Wait. Oh yeah, this is Jynnes Goth, right? I think so. So yeah, Jynnes Goth. Okay, so you see like all this snow swirling around? Hang on. I'm gonna play it. So yeah, you saw all that snow floating around and flying around and stuff? That made quite a few people DC. disconnect because it was very hard on CPUs. I was playing on a laptop at the time, and yeah, I remember one time on raid night, I was DCing every time I would reconnect. So every time I would reconnect, I had time enough to, and I was healing. I was raid healer because they were like, well, might as well put you as an extra raid heal because you're not even gonna contribute to DPS because you're disconnecting all the time. So they made me a healer. So every time I would reconnect, I had enough time to like put my hots back on, and then I would DC again. It was so bad. And so, like, I think we gave up that night because we were like everybody is DCing. It was so bad. Return to Hammernell.
Rated T for teen.
T for teen. Oh. Oh my god, that's just like the original Waves of Madness video with the mining. Holy shit.
Hammernell.
Memories.
Capital city and crown jewel of the dwarves. Until it was drowned in madness. There were
King Molinar.
Some few ascended. Great heroes who put the dragon down.
Oh wait, did that show you the gear? Hang on. Let's go back. Oh, that's the original Hammernell gear. Nice. Yeah, so I have the warrior set for this. It's like golden. You can't really see it because it's kind of sepia right here, but in this part. But like yeah, it's like green and gold. It's beautiful.
Some few ascended. Great heroes who put the dragon down and brought light back to our home. But I wonder, is our home cursed? Will the waves of madness ever be calmed?
Nope. No, because Tryon will rehash content. New wardrobe system. Yeah, so the new wardrobe system was basically like every piece you collect, you collect the appearance. So instead of back in the day for wardrobes, you would have to. It was kind of like WoW, where you would have to transmog your gear into a wardrobe. So it was very similar to WoW, and then they introduced this new wardrobe system where basically every piece you collect the appearance, so you can always quote unquote transmog, and it's free transmog now. Woo! New gear. Yeah, I hate this gear. I fucking hate it. It's so ugly. Well, I mean, it fits the water theme, but it's just I don't like it. Anywho. Primalist announcement, dev diary. Nah. Into the Wilds. So yes, that's the announcement for Primalist. The trailer for Primalists and the new zone.
To seek the adversary of the wilds.
This was a very beautiful zone.
I took what was great from the body.
Dinosaurs! Woo!
There is no escape.
Okay, yeah. I said the previous video's gear was ugly. I hate this one even more. It's so ugly to me. Oh my god. Yeah. I'm sorry, but that's the warrior gear. This is the rogue gear. That's the what is this? Mage? And that is definitely the cleric then. God.
Face your ancestors.
Oh yeah, so this is the Primalist. Very cool gear, very cool wardrobe then. I love this piece. I don't have it, but I would love it. But then I would have to buy I did buy the souls, but no, you had to buy the like a deluxe edition of Primalist, so you would get that piece of gear. I was like, fuck that. Comet event kit.
Destroy these impertinent mortals.
Mortals.
You will grant me your power. You will serve my will. With such power, I could remake creation itself.
Yeah, so you see it's super short, and it's like you don't get any background information. Like you don't know who Ahn'ket is. What the fuck? Ugh, Summerfest, blah. And then Forged in Flame, now live.
In fire and in blood I live.
That's Melanin.
Let chaos reign. I take the name Melanon. You can.
I gotta say, this is very pretty. I like this gear. I like this wardrobe. Except this one. This one's got like a little comet like flying above his head. That's fucking weird to me. That's cleric. This is warrior, I think. That's then mage. No, this is mage. This is rogue or primalist, I guess, because it's got a two-hander here. That's a mage in the background here. Yeah.
Cannot stand against a god.
Yeah, that's that. Looking for raid system, which is not even used at all. Like, it's so sad that they implemented this, but it was like it's barely ever used. Like I never see my queue pop. So they did this for nothing. But I would love, like, what's sad is that they didn't implement like Intrepid Rise of the Phoenix. They didn't make that into LFR raid. The new raid that they're gonna release, that they have released, sorry, Bastion of Steel. They haven't made this into an LFR. Like they just. I'm sorry, Tryon, but you're kind of fucking things up a lot. Just saying. New 10-player raid, Tartaric Depths. Yeah, so the expansion shipped with a 1 raid, 10-player, and it was bugged to shit. No, sorry, it shipped with Queen's Foci as well. Yeah, but Queen's Foci is basically one boss. Yeah, and that's it, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this. I mean, I had fun looking at these videos and giving my insight and my comments and stuff like that. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys later. See ya.